Hello everyone, welcome. My name is Shlee Binesi. So I want to share a story with you about my Jewish inclinations. So I don't know for everybody that understands or knows me, but I'm pretty sure I was Jewish in a past life because I've had all these weird signs and epiphanies that told me I was Jewish or that I lived like somewhere in the Middle East, like I don't know. So yeah, just wanted to get into a little story about it. So I actually found this necklace when I was like 16 years old in like a secondhand clothing store, and I didn't even know why that I was drawn to it, but I was like initially drawn to it, and I was like, oh my god, that is so pretty. It's a star, but I didn't know what kind of star it was. I didn't know how to identify stars back then. So yeah, and people would briefly just like tell me things, and they weren't really educated. This was before I was like, I'd learned that I was an occultist by vocation. And why do I call myself that is because I have legitimately had experiences that showed me why I've chosen the vocations and the ways that I exist. So with that being said, one thing leads to another, and I'd found out that I was initially, have Jewish ancestry in previous incarnations. And so, and it's really weird too, because I always end up meeting like these very like powerful, interesting people who are like Jewish, or they like have ancestry that's Jewish. So it's kind of like just on my path for some reason. I have no idea why. I guess also because, the Holocaust, that time era, that war and everything was a very recent trauma for people in our timeline on this planet. So, and the fact that I'm indigenous, native, from this part of the world, on what we call Turtle Island. I just want to clarify that and inform everyone and educate them that this is actually where the creation stories probably started. But you'll hear a whole bunch of information based on that. So, So this is the origin of the Star of David is actually Solomon's seal, which dates back to pre-Christian eras. So yeah, stories are a little crazy. There's so many creation stories, but it's kind of the media's shaped and changed us in many ways, so we've forgotten a lot of things, and the truth is twisted and turned against us, so we're all fighting for silly reasons. So yeah, I found this, and I'd lived with a black woman who claimed to be Jewish, but she believed in Jesus, and it made no sense at the time. So it's, long story short, it's funny because I actually was like, when I lived with this woman, I like what she told me based on her beliefs or what she, liked, or her ideals or whatever. I would actually hide this from her when I would go to school, because I would wear it to school, and I would like put it under my shirt, and I'd be like, oh, she can't let the Jewish woman see my Star of David, because nobody was teaching me anything, so I had no idea. But I ended up finding out later, like when I was in my younger years, in my early 20s, someone's like, oh, that's the Star of David, and I was like, what? And they're like, yeah, blah blah blah. I'm like, oh. They're like, oh yeah. And I was like, I was so tripped out. I'm like, so I'm not evil, this wasn't an evil symbol. They're like, no, that's the Star of David, blah blah blah. And one thing led to the next, and here I am sitting with you all today, educating you, briefly telling you a story about my discovery as to why I am the person that I am today. So, Solomon's seal. So actually, I have it tattooed on my chest as well, which is symbolic to the heart chakra. Symbolism has always been like a very deep interest of mine since I can recollect. So I wear this symbol proudly because of many experiences that I've had personally with understanding and analyzing myself and why I'm here. So, Solomon Seal.